Hey everybody, and welcome to an on-the-road edition of Inside Pitch for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I'm Ben Fredrickson alongside Post-Dispatch teammate Derek Gould, and here we are at spring training without spring training. Derek, the news coming down yesterday that baseball has canceled spring training, postponed the start of the regular season by at least 2 weeks. We just got off the phone with Cardinals manager Mike Shildt and president of baseball operations John Mozeliak. And this is an interesting time, Derek, because usually when we talk to folks and they tell us, we ask questions and they say, hey, we don't know, oftentimes we get the idea that it means they do know and they don't want to tell us. This is a unique situation for baseball because when they say they don't know, they really don't know. The conversations they're having are going to determine what these next few days look like as they try to sort through what they can and can't do. And what this looks like is baseball is in a truly unprecedented place.
One of the reasons why is because there's so many layers to this right now. That there's the chief layer, which is keeping everybody healthy. Then there's the layer of keeping everybody in shape for a baseball season without knowing when it will start. And then there's the other part of it, which is kind of the undercurrent, is the negotiations and discussions that have to take place with how players are paid. Players are not paid during spring training, and players might have their salaries reduced by a reduced season. So how does baseball and the union discuss what's mandatory in the coming days, what workouts are available? And so you have all these tiers to it where it's not just, what's safety? Like, for example, as of right now with minor league camp in place, the Cardinals have about 350 people here at their facility. They can't have that all at once. They can't be spread all over the fields. They can't be in the clubhouses because of the suggestions from the governor that 200 people is too many. So you have to split up even the workouts. Okay, so once that's done, what is the priority? Well, major league teams usually have the priority, but right now, do they want them ramping up so much? Do they want them doing stuff? Because there's no target date for a game, and there's no agreement for exactly how players will be compensated for this or what teams can require. What we do know is that the players, the staff, even non-essential and support staff, have been encouraged to stay in the Jupiter area. So here we are, we're in the Jupiter area, and we'll take cues on travel and, as far as media goes and players go, as far as, the cues will come probably from the government as much as from the commissioner's office. But for now, they're going to remain, the players are going to remain around Jupiter, media will remain around Jupiter. The facility will be open to players to use for baseball activities for now.
It sounds like there could be some news on that in coming days.
But within days, it could be closed. It could be shuttered, and people could be told to basically stay in place. Mozeliak said, he was asked if the plans are going day by day, and he said, quote, "I'm taking it hour by hour," and so are we.
Some conversations, so many that could branch off of this coronavirus reaction and topic. One being, there is a unique time period right now for both the owners and the players. They are not on the best of terms. The CBA in the future is coming up, and as they negotiate what this looks like this time period, you do wonder what that stress level is like between the two sides. Can the Cardinals or any team tell a player you can't go out of the country to see your family? Can they tell them you have to stay in this area if spring training is not officially? You can suggest it. Can you tell them? Can you tell them they have to be at practice if it's not mandatory? I mean, these are all things that both sides are trying to sort through. Right now, the emphasis being, hey, let's make sure everybody is healthy. And you mentioned finally baseball is saying, hey, we have to pay attention to these crowds. We still don't have a good answer from the league on why they started and finished 6 Grapefruit League games yesterday. More than 35,000 people combined attendance at 6 games across the state of Florida, a state that now has 40 plus cases of coronavirus and climbing as tests become more available and as more people are aware of the symptoms. So one thing to point out, and we should mention this, is right now the Cardinals are saying they know of no one in the organization on the team or ties necessarily to the team under the team umbrella that have tested positive, that are showing signs of symptoms.
They haven't even been approved. This is an important point. So the Cardinals do not have any player, minor league, major league, or staff that has shown the symptoms that would qualify for a test. That's the important part of it. So they haven't even gotten to the point where they can go to a local, the local officials and say, we have this, we're self-quarantined, we need a test. So They have not had anybody qualify for a test. Now the Cardinals and Major League Baseball are like a lot of other entities, a lot of other businesses, a lot of other communities that would like to have tests in place so that they know for sure.
Right.
Right now they're just charting symptoms, which could take 14 days, you don't know, but they have not had anybody qualify for a test.
One thing, if there is a silver lining to the baseball side for this break, there are some Cardinals who could use the time. I mean, we talked to Schilt today about Andrew Miller, who's continuing to kind of work his way back from not being able to really have a good feel for the baseball in his hand. Brett Cecil, who has the hamstring injury in his last outing. You wonder about a guy like Paul Goldschmidt's elbow, a little more time for maybe that to get right, and that's kind of the baseball side of it. But there is that angle, is there will be, whether you want to focus on it today, and today's probably not the day or not, there will be a competitive advantage found somewhere in this time off. Teams that structure this the best will be ready to play whenever the season comes back, and we should probably end it here. 2-week delay to the regular season where things stand now. But it seems like, talking to Schilt today, that is fluid, and they don't know for sure that they will be back in play. How can anybody know for sure what that's going to look like, if there's allowed to be crowds, if there's going to be, if there's just going to be games on TV with no crowds? These are all things that are being worked out literally minute by minute, hour by hour.
And probably won't know until they start.
Right.
It's quite honestly, they'll set an opening day target, unless it's well after the alarm has spread across the globe and there's a handle on this. And it's very, very fluid. They could say that they're going to have workouts Monday, and Monday morning say we're closing up shop. It's just been that kind of messaging, and it's one of the reasons why you're not going to hear a lot of hypotheticals, and the wild speculation should be reduced to a minimum, and we'll try to do that in our coverage.
Yeah, bigger than sports for sure, but we will kind of continue to navigate how the Cardinals are going to handle this here in Jupiter. All the coverage up at stltoday.com. You can find the latest comments from manager Mike Schilt, president of baseball operations John Mozeliak, and plenty of other coverage too from back home and beyond, of how our local teams are handling this. Most importantly, everybody stay safe, be serious about this, and make sure you know what you're getting into and read about it. That's what we've had to do. We've had to become not experts at all, but become way more informed about coronavirus than I ever thought I would be, based off of covering it. So we'll continue to have all that at stltoday.com, and we'll catch up with you guys again soon. For Derek, I'm Ben, and stay safe, everybody.